Hey there, friends. This is our fifth part in this series on praying for America. And as I said throughout, the things I'm going to say are actually going to apply to any difficult area that God is calling you to pray for. Or any other part, whether it's your country, whether it's your family, whether it's your county, whether it's your school, whether it's your health, whatever it is, this is going to help you with that. And so today I really want to address this issue of injustice. I mean, honestly, this is one of the things that leads us to prayer most often, to be perfectly honest. This wrestling with injustice. Injustice when maybe it's injustice in the school system, maybe it's injustice in economical injustice as far as race is concerned, injustice as far as war, whatever the injustice is, the automatic response to injustice, the God-given response to justice is anger and rage. Now, if we have no expression for that anger or rage, the result is depression and despair and hopelessness. So, and in other words, if the rage can't be expressed outwardly or anger it is expressed inwardly and devours us. And so let me say this right off the bat. These are natural responses. We should not be condemned by these responses. 1 John 3:20 tells us that if our hearts condemn us, we should take heart because God is greater than our hearts and he knows all things. That's great news, right? God is greater than our hearts. So what I want to say is that's why Paul says, be angry and sin not. Rage and anger, when anger is given its ability to take over, it turns to rage. When anger can't be expressed, it turns to depression and despair. So what have we got to do when this anger, this righteous anger rises up when we see some things? And I've got to tell you, day before yesterday, as things were starting, when there were protests in Moscow with the Ukraine war and everything else, I went to a bad place. Rage, anger took over in rage. And for about 40 minutes, I lost Jesus. Because see, when I embrace rage, I am moving in the spirit of Moses. You guys remember Moses? Moses had a call in his life to deliver the people of Israel. And he saw the people of Israel being beaten down. And he saw a slave driver beating them, and rage took over him. Rage says, I will be the solution. I will take over. I will mete out justice. And he killed the Egyptian. How did that work out for him? Not great. And in fact, justice, we are incapable in ourselves of bringing about justice, because justice is not simply to make somebody pay. Justice, if you go into the Hebrew, you look at it, justice is tied to returning something to its original intended intention, what God intended for it to be. And that includes for that the abuser be restored to who they're called to be, as well as the people who've been robbed from, stolen from, hurt, attacked, whatever, are also restored. And so when I come in with rage, that's not going to happen. I'm just going to be destroyer. And I know back in the day, I had some moments where we were dealing with some people who were being unjust. And guess what I found is I thought, oh, wow, people will feel protected because I am fighting this person who's being unjust to them. What I saw were people are now equally scared of me as they were of the abuser. It was very strange. And that's what happened to Moses. So when anger is rising up within us, what do? If we don't address it, it will eat us up, either as rage or despair and depression. So what do? How do we use that anger? How do we use this awareness of injustice to lean in and to pray with power into the areas of injustice that our hearts have shown us? Okay, here's the beauty of it. So the first thing I have to do is I have to recognize that anger is simply a signal on my dashboard. It's telling me there's something going on in my heart. Now, the first thing I have to do is become aware of what's going on in my heart. Now, this isn't psychoanalyze. This isn't dig into your heart. Who knows our hearts? Man, Jeremiah says, the heart is deceitfully wicked. Who can know it? God can. God knows our hearts, right? And he's greater than our hearts. So what do we do when we're experiencing that anger? We go, God, what is the injustice you are showing me? God, what's the injustice here, and what are you showing me? What do you want me to know about this injustice? What is it? What's going on? Show it to me. Because a lot of times we don't even know. We might just have anger and we don't understand where it's coming from or what it's going to be. So God, what's going on in my heart? What are you showing me? What's this injustice? Because anger is the automatic response to injustice. Okay? Lord, what do you want me to know about this injustice? This is of paramount importance, because until we have God's perspective on the injustice, we're going to get it completely skewed. I'll give you an example. Years ago, as a young man on a youth group, and we were working on a project somewhere. We were divided into two teams, and this one girl came from the other team weeping. She was weeping because, she said, they kicked me off their team. They won't let me work with them. Well, guess what rose up in me? Rage, anger, righteous anger. And I went over and I walked into that place, where the other team was, and I said, you guys, what's wrong with you guys? How you've just broken her heart. Blah, 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 blah. And I walked off, and I was so proud of myself. About 2 minutes later, the leader ran up behind me and he goes, what did you do that for? I was like, well, da, 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 da. He said, what you don't understand is she was being disobedient. She was refusing to work. She was distracting everybody else. And we said, if you cannot work here, you may go to the other team. Oops. So it's really important. My righteous anger might be responding to inadequate information. It could be responding to the lies of the enemy, for heaven's sakes. I don't know, but that anger has to be resolved. And in God's presence, it can be resolved. God, what do you want me to know about this? Sometimes he can say, that is not for you to get in there, but I want you to agree with me for my purposes, and I want to bring peace in this situation. Just agree with me. Pray with me for peace. Just release peace. Or he might give you clear strategies of how he wants to address those issues. That's what we've had to do time and time again. Day before yesterday, when I completely lost my peace, when I went to complete rage, dealing with outright, horrific, undeniable injustices, I had to go, Jesus, what do you want me to know? And the first thing, you know what he said to me? He said, it's okay. I'm God. I'm still God. And so because in injustice, oftentimes we get so impressed with the actual injustice that we can't hear God. We are actually demanding God do things, and we actually in that moment are tempted to see God himself as unjust, as participating in or allowing the injustice. And so we cannot partner with God because we're starting to see God as part of the problem. So in that moment, as I say, God, what do you want me to know? What do you want to show me about this? Give me your perspective. Then, and only then can he tag us in. God, what do you want me to do with this? What do you want me to do with this situation? He might say, keep your mouth shut. Don't contribute to the issue. Or he might say, I need you to speak up. Or he might give you something to do. But when you do it from in alignment with his heart, you're going to do it in joy. You're going to do it in peace. You're going to deal in hope. And it's going to be good. And you're not going to be eaten up with rage. The facts will remain, but you'll still be okay. And that's a beautiful thing. So hopefully this makes some sense. I want to tell you, we are called to, God hates injustice, no question about it. And he's looking for people who will partner with him to tear down injustice without being destroyed themselves, which so often happens. And so guys, I just love you guys. I'm so grateful for you all. America is facing injustice within and out, maybe like always, but maybe like never before. I don't know. But I want to say, wherever you are, you're facing the same. In your life, things are unjust. Pay attention to that anger. It's showing you injustice, and then lean in and let God bring you to a place of peace where you can destroy the works of the devil with joy and love. All right, guys, love you all. Thank you so much. If you want to, when you share this, it really helps. So thank you for all of you all who share that and make your shares public, who like these, for your comments. I'm so grateful to all of you all. And I will say this, you all are making a difference in the world. Don't sell prayer short. Oh, if all we can do is pray. No. Prayer, it all begins and ends with prayer. And,
approaching a railroad crossing.
Love you guys. Have an amazing day.